Emitel operates one of the most extensive and mission-critical digital infrastructure platforms in Poland. We ensure the delivery of terrestrial TV and radio to over 98% of the Polish population with the highest possible SLA.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. As the largest portfolio company of Cordiant digital infrastructure, Emitel plays a critical role in Poland's fast-evolving digital economy. With stable revenues, national strategic importance, and significant growth potential, Emitel is a core platform for Cordiant's buy, build, and grow strategy. In this interview, we explore why Poland is one of Europe's most attractive markets for digital infrastructure, how Emitel is positioned at the heart of that story, and what this means for long-term investors seeking resilient, future-ready assets. Joining me is Emitel's CEO, Maciej Pilipczuk. Maciej, very good to speak with you. Poland is increasingly recognized as one of Europe's most dynamic economies. What makes the country such a compelling base for digital infrastructure investment?
Hello, Stephen. Good afternoon. Thank you for having me. Poland has become one of Europe's most vibrant economies, and the IMF forecasts it to have the highest economic growth in Europe in 2025, ahead of all of its EU peers. And if you look at Poland's economy, it has actually doubled in size over the past 2 decades. It grew faster than neighboring Central European countries and at twice the average rate of other OECD countries. And Poland combines one of the largest markets in the EU with strong macroeconomic fundamentals, stable regulatory environment, and a deep pool of technical talent. All these factors contribute to a uniquely attractive landscape for digital infrastructure investment. And the consistent GDP growth alongside the EU membership and robust legal protections offer a level of stability that's increasingly rare in global markets. And finally, for digital infrastructure specifically, Poland's geographic location at the heart of Europe, its growing digital economy and rising demand for bandwidth and cloud services make it a natural hub for long-term investment.
Emitel is a national champion in digital infrastructure. Can you give us a sense of the scale and criticality of your network to Poland's digital economy?
Sure. Well, Emitel operates one of the most extensive and mission-critical digital infrastructure platforms in Poland. We ensure the delivery of terrestrial TV and radio to over 98% of the Polish population with the highest possible SLA. Moreover, we manage over 750 broadcast and telecommunications towers across the country. We provide services that underpin not just media transmission, but increasingly mobile and data connectivity. And Emitel's infrastructure supports public safety networks, national broadcasting, and the digital transition of government and enterprise services. In short, we're foundational to the country's digital resilience and growth. And actually, our role is only expanding as demand for new digital solutions and connectivity accelerates in both private and public sectors.
Maciej, in the context of regional comparisons, how does Poland's infrastructure readiness stack up against peers in Central and Eastern Europe?
Well, Poland stands out in the CE region for both the scale and modernization of its infrastructure, and it is increasingly the benchmark for infrastructure development in the whole region. And again, coming back to the GDP growth, according to Bloomberg and ING, it led the region in the first quarter of 2025 with the GDP growth of 1.9% compared to just under 1% in Hungary and Romania. The country has made significant investments in digital infrastructure over the past decade, and it actually shows. From our vantage point at Emitel, Poland is ahead of many of its regional peers in terms of fiber rollout and is poised to quickly close all gaps in terms of 5G readiness and regulatory alignment with EU digital targets. This positions Poland as a leader in regional digital development and provides Emitel with a strong platform to deliver future-facing infrastructure solutions at a scale.
How's Emitel positioning itself to capitalize on pan-European opportunities? Can it be a platform for broader regional growth within the Cordiant portfolio?
Sure, absolutely. Emitel, is not only a mature and resilient business in its own right, but also a strategic platform for regional expansion. Our operational expertise, regulatory track record, and deep integration into Poland's digital economy make us an ideal launchpad for future growth. Whether through adjacent market entry or cross-border partnerships. And what's more, under Cordiant's ownership, we are actively exploring opportunities to scale capabilities, and we do it particularly in high growth areas. So definitely we see strong potential for Emitel to play a central role in Cordiant's pan-European growth narrative.
Poland's seeing increased attention from global tech giants, so Amazon, Google, and others. What does that influx of global investment signal to investors in digital infrastructure?
Well, as you see, it's a powerful validation. Amazon has invested nearly $7 billion in Poland, including major logistics hubs and cloud infrastructure. Well, Google has similarly invested heavily, making Warsaw, the capital of Poland, a key digital node in Europe. These moves are, not coincidental, but they reflect confidence in Poland's long-term digital trajectory. And for digital infrastructure investors, that matters a lot. These anchor investments create downstream demand for fiber, towers, data connectivity, and edge services. These are all areas where Emitel is very well positioned. We view this as both a tailwind and an endorsement of the investment thesis for our sector in Poland. And finally, Emitel is already seeing this demand materialize through new customer segments and upgraded network requirements.
Maciej, if you had to summarize why Emitel, and by extension Poland, is a smart long-term bet for digital infrastructure capital, what would you say?
Sure. Well, Poland is a standout in Europe, economically dynamic, regulatory stable, and digitalizing fast. It's expected to lead the continent in growth this year, and global investment trends show no signs of slowing. Emitel combines operational excellence, market leadership, and national strategic importance, all within one of Europe's most developing economies. Poland offers stability, growth, and increasing digitalization, making it a fantastic place for long-term infrastructure investment. And as part of Cordiant's buy, build, and grow strategy, Emitel delivers both resilient cash flows and real growth upside. For investors looking to deploy capital into digital infrastructure that is essential, future-proof, and backed by macroeconomic factors, Emitel in Poland is an exceptional proposition.
Maciej, I hope you'll continue to keep us posted on your progress. Thank you very much for speaking with us today.
Thank you for having me, Stephen.
Maciej Pilupczuk is CEO of Emitel.